in Sacramento today to help a very sweet family determine the nature of a haunt in their home. As normal, we go into it with pretty much little to no information, except for we know that they are fans of the RAD show, so yay, fellow maggots, and they just have some weird energy they needed answers and resolution to. So here we are to get an answer, to find out, is it positive, negative, fun, not fun, why are they here? Did they come with the land? Did they come with the family? Did they come from somewhere nearby? And most of all, how can the family maintain some balance and some positive energy in the space so they are not being taken over by whatever may be here? And obviously we know spiritual activity can drain people, make people exhausted, cause sleep disturbances. All kinds of things can occur. You can just not feel generally happy or safe in your space if you don't know what's going on in your home. So we would like to take a little walkabout, discover the energy in the space, who, why, what. But my favorite part is always figuring out how to fix it so they can then feel in control again in the home. A couple of things that I felt initially kind of opening in the space. I felt a male energy somewhere in his mid to late 50s, kind of poking around and wandering around, checking things out, and also a much younger male. I would put him between 20s and 30s, kind of sort of hovering in the background. There's a much older male and much older female too, and I don't know if they came with the house before, like previous residents, or if they're related to the family. I can't quite suss that out. There is a much older, stricter male. He's got a good heart, but he's very meticulous, a little bit regimented in his behavior. And the lady seems to be sort of like a quiet worrier. She's kind of worried about something, and she's sort of she seems to be in the kitchen, and she's kind of doing this with her hands a little bit and kind of almost praying about something. And the older male is probably in his 80s. The female, maybe 70s, 80s. She's just kind of checking things out a little bit. So there's a couple of different things, and I feel like the backyard has significance in some way, shape, or form, and so I do want to make that as part of my walkthrough, because I feel like there's almost something ceremonial, and I don't know what that means yet. So I'd like to explore that as we do the walkthrough, and as we go room to room, maybe we will feel more energies, and maybe some of them will step forward. As we know, we cannot control the dead. We don't control the other side. If they want to communicate, they will. If they want to skunk me, they will. So let's have a little walkabout and enjoy the season. Elf on the Shelf. Have you seen anything, Mr. Elf? Comfortable weight. And she's always worried about everybody. She's always like, oh, do you have enough of this? I need to take care of you. Are you sick? Are you okay? Like she's very, very worry, and sweetly overbearing. She's very much, I want to tend to you. And she just she's all up in the business up in this kitchen. So I don't know what her deal is. Mm-hmm. Her hair seems to be pulled back in some way, shape, or form. I can't really see all of it. It seems to be drawn up or pulled up, or it could be just short. And I feel a little bit of chest pain with her and breathing trouble with her. An inability to breathe well. That's kind of what I feel from her in here. Wow. Has a lot of energy in that. She's older, maybe 70s to 80s. She has short hair. And she is just very meticulous. She's a little fluffy, but not bad. Just a little fluffy.
We're all a little fluffy and too, so that's okay.
Well, it is what it is. And but she seems to always be worried about people and wanting to take care of people and fix things. And are you sick? Are you hungry? Are you tired? Do you need this? She's very much trying to invest herself into helping people. And she seems to be in here. So I don't find her to be threatening, but she's a little nosy and bossy, but in a sort of helpful way. Then there is.
Do you feel like she's familiar or comes with the property?
I am not sure yet. She hasn't really she's just so busy doing her own thing. She's less invested in telling me anything about her, except for I could see glimmers of her because I'm an empathic medium, so I almost feel more from a soul than I do see things. But she's a very neat lady, just a little bossy. There is a male in his, I'd say, mid to late 50s that's also poking around and seems to be. My stomach hurts with him a little bit. I don't know, something with the stomach is not feeling right on him. It's very uncomfortable. There's a younger male in his 20s to 30s that keeps hovering in the background and doesn't seem to want to talk to me right now, not right yet. And my head hurts quite a bit with him. I got a real massive head pain with him. And then there's an older couple that is just really so the older male, he's trying to stand guard of this place, and I don't know if it's because of you guys or if it's because he loves the place, so figuring out where he belongs to. But he's very methodical and regimented and kind of strict. But I wouldn't call him mean. He's just strict. But there's something else going on here, and that ceremonial thing keeps playing in my head. Ceremony or ritualistic that keeps playing in my head, and I'm not sure what that means. So. We'll explore, we'll wander, and we'll keep feeling. I'm going to go room to room. I'm going to go in every room and feel the energy of every space. Go out in the backyard, feel the energy of that. Like you would see a shadow. Like you would look out of the corner of your eye and you would see stuff walking by. You would see somebody walking by and then they're gone. They're gone. They walk by and then and this is a phenomenon that seems to happen everywhere. This is the little Nuggets room.
And the hallway is one of the areas that we talked about.
Yes, it is.
I'm not worried about that. Okay, now that makes sense. So, the woman comes in here, and she hovers over the crib she is very... literally watches over at nighttime. This older woman is in here a lot. Oh, that's sharp.
Yeah.
I'm having quite a intense, sharp back pain in here. It's actually rather painful. I feel like I'm being poked, and my mid and my lower back is actually stabbing quite a bit. It's
Ow.
Whew, yeah, it's hard. It's almost hard to breathe, and I'm feeling like my lower back is just cinched up and very, very tight in this space. Spasm, sciatica, that type of thing. I just feel the energy of the bed a little bit. Personal items. Give her her privacy. This to me feels like you wouldn't, I don't know, something with the sleep does feel quite disturbed and stunted in some ways. A lot of tossing and turning and pain. And I'm also feeling restriction in my throat and inability to breathe very well. I feel like a lot of like that kind of that sort of inability to quite gain good breath.
I see what you mean about the low back.
Yeah, it's rather sharp. It's very tight and very stabby.
Yeah.
It really it kind of it's right in through here.
Yep.
And then it reaches down into the hips.
It goes into the full sciatica.
Yeah, it's quite an intense pain actually. It's rather painful. Now this is something that I would think that you would start to hear movement, either in here or other parts of the house, and you think, well, is it this, is it that, and you would try to write it off as something else. But there's a lot of auditory. I think the living would have a lot of auditory phenomena. There's like a lot of, so our client is validating that.
Okay.
It seems like, you're like, oh, well, it's probably the dog, or, oh, maybe, what but then you're like, wait a minute, they're right here. That kind of thing, and it's, well, maybe it's a squirrel. Well, but why would it be right there? It's a lot of that type of issue.
Yeah.
And it's just, it feels so weird. It's like, it's almost like something is talking to them directly and trying to get their attention. But I don't know why they would want to get their attention so much. Why do you want their attention? Why do you want their attention?
How's the temperature to your left?
Warm?
Okay.
Feels warm.
Okay.
Actually, which is odd.
You having face recognition?
There's some anomalies going on for
Anomalies
sure.
occurring.
It feels warm right here.
Yeah, it was having trouble locking onto you, and I've got it tracking you, so it shouldn't lock onto anything else.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's interesting.
it's tracking you, but then it was
Nice.
it was sort of like, hey, what's over here? Are you sure you want me to film that? Because there's something really interesting over there, man.
I'll come over here with them. Oh, that's weird. That's a weird sensation.
Yeah.
I feel a little like dizziness and confusion almost from something. Either, I don't know if it's living or if it's a deceased energy. I feel kind of wobbly. I feel like a little vertigo type of sensation.
It's funny you said that I had to put the artificial horizon on here because I couldn't keep it. Like, it's
It's
funny.
really,
It's sort of like
yeah.
wonky in here, yeah.
It does feel like there's motion.
Yeah.
Like weird, imbalanced motion. The older female seems to go room to room to check everyone and make sure everybody's got everything. But she's like, but I can only do so much. And she's still so worried. She's like, moving her hands. And she's kind of worried that she can't do as much as she wants to do. The older male seems to patrol around the perimeter. But it's like there's something going on. And it's like it's coming from the backyard. Oh, and something's hit me right in the neck right here.
Oh,
Kind of a sharp pain. Yeah, it's a weird pain. It's a weird phantom pain. I almost feel like, you would lay here, you would open your eyes, and for a split second, somebody is standing there. Like right in front of you, right? And maybe that comes in dreams, or maybe it's written off as a dream, but it's like somebody
Super startled.
watches. Like the feeling of being watched.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that disappears, but then at the other side of the house you'll hear a clack, 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 something moving like a clatter. You'll see them, they're gone, and then like split second, and there's an auditory phenomena. I wonder if maybe we shouldn't try just a little EVP at some point.
Okay.
Because I feel like that might.
okay.
I don't know how the dreams are in here, but I don't feel like they're great. I don't know if they're remembered, but I don't feel like the dreams are always great in this space.
This is obviously a child's room.
Yeah, I feel like very odd. Nervous. Is it a nervousness? I feel intense nerves in this space. But also possible spiritual sensitivity. I'm feeling a little bit of spiritual ability or sensitivity to some degree. I don't think this is the only person in the house that may have that gift, but I feel some spiritual sensitivity in here pretty strongly. So that might come in the form of premonitions, dreams, empathic stuff, feeling other people's stuff, feeling, gathering emotions from other people, that kind of thing. Because it's a little bit intense.
A lot of things.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of energy. I don't know. This feels kind of different.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel?
A little bit skeevy.
I never read in film.
This is like pre-housing tract energy though, right here.
Okay.
I think.
This as I was telling you on the way here, this housing development's been here for a while.
Has it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This was originally built in the 60s, I think.
Oh, really?
Sounds about right.
Alright. So it has to be pre then. I don't know, I keep seeing ceremonial type of activity.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means. Like I'm trying to articulate and see like to get something tangible off of it. And it's hard to see, but it's dark and seeing a scene of like it's night out and there's 5 people. I see 5 people doing something. 5 of them. What is that? That hurt.
What happened?
Feels like something cut my hand.
Ow.
Kind of sharp. Bygones. Okay. Grounding, relax back. And that really hurts. I don't know if this is native. They don't quite look Native American.
It doesn't feel that.
But I can't quite see them because it's so, the imagery of what I'm seeing is so dark that like I can't see. It's like everything operating in the shadows is kind of what I'm seeing. But I see 5 people.
Well, that's interesting.
Let's piss off the dogs. Oh yeah, I pissed them off.
You did. You made them mad.
They wanted to defend their space, and so they were fighting over who gets to defend their space.
That's right.
Lucy, enough.
They're like, oh shit, ain't Dad. Don't piss off Dad.
That's funny.
Oh,
We're doing what doggies do.
poor babies.
It's just the littlest one. She's always the loudest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is this like a garage?
Yes, it's a workshop.
Workshop.
If you wanted to go in there, you're more than welcome to.
I don't know that there's anything in it. I just go feel on the door.
It's supposed to be a workshop, but it's my wife's storage space.
That'll happen. You feeling anything?
I had to just put it down for a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential out here. It's a lovely little storage area. I don't know. I just feel heavy out here, but it's.
Yeah.
I think that's more residual energy. I don't think it's anything. There's nothing threatening out here. I think this is more just kind of like residual history. Honestly, if you even took just a little bundle of sage out here yourself and just left the door open and wafted a little bit of sage out here, I think you'd be. This feels all residual to me. This is the easiest. Even though it feels heavy, I think it's just like it's compounded energy over layers over time. Different people's things and and joy, so that'll energy can collide in that way. Yeah, you've got some interesting stuff happening in your space, sir. You've got a variety of things going on, a lot of different souls, but most of them are trying to help fix things. There might be some conflict between the souls of what they think is right. Like the older lady just, she's trying to like do one way and the man's trying to do something else. And it's almost like they came as a pair and they're like arguing back and forth on how to fix energy. They're like, no, let me do it this way. No, let me do it this way. And so that might cause a little bit of a clash. But there's something land-based that somehow has impacted the energy in the home. Something has changed the vibrational something. because that whole ceremonial aspect and vibe seems very odd.
Yeah.
And I don't quite know if it was a positive ceremony for like a blessing or if it was something else.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a little unsure right now, and I'm in a conflict about it. So we'll continue walking about and we'll see if we can. We've got some fresh rosemary out here. That's good. There's something out here. I don't know. It strikes me as odd, and I can't quite quantify it. It's a little bizarre to feel it. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to quantify that. I get the sensation of occasionally somebody feeling either a cold spot or touch, like a cool electric touch. It's very strange. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Is that something you experience?
Oh, wow.
It's a little weird, man. You're like, what's happening? It's a little strange. So there's some energy here. You're not hallucinating, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
But it's a little weird. I'm gonna tell you, and I don't quite know exactly what it is all the way yet because I keep having to try to pull layer after layer off. But I also feel like it's something that can be resolved. I don't feel like you have a portal to hell, or a bunch of like 10,000 demons or something running loose in your house, which is also good.
You're not cursed.
But there's something here. There's a confluence of energy that just isn't meshing together well. It's like a mixed match puzzle, and things are not fitting energetically, and oh, that little old lady. She goes, I keep trying to put things back where I think they belong. She goes, I'm trying to fix things. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to be useful. I think she's apologizing to you because I think she's adding to like your anxiety because she keeps trying to do things, but she keeps running into things and she keeps putting stuff away, or at least she thinks she is. Mm-hmm. And she's not quite doing it right. And then the older gentleman is like, would you just leave them alone? They're doing fine. Leave them alone. And like he's telling her to like knock it off. And she's like, I know what I'm doing. So there's this funny little argument between this pair, and it's just, they're cute as hell, but God, they need to knock it off. So, I mean, I think we just need to get everyone on the same playing field here because I think we've got too many layers of stuff going on. And whatever happened out here at some point in history is affecting the balance. So oddly enough, while I don't typically bless the outdoors, I think I may want to, I don't know, do a little something to this area.
Yeah.
A little something.
A little spray of something. I want to do a little something right here. It feels a little off to me.
Just a little.
Let's go back inside and feel some more things. It seems to me that a lot of the auditory phenomena is coming from this section.
Yes. And you're pointing to the kitchen.
Yeah, it's coming from here. So if you're on that side of the house, you're hearing something come from here. If you're sitting in here watching TV, you hear something that way. You're like, and you never really can chase it down. So there's a lot of trying to chase down the sounds and figure them out. And most of the time, you can't. Or you come out and something's on the floor. That could definitely happen. I think these energies have the ability to physically interact with the environment, not just auditory, but I think they physically can interact with the environment. And I'm getting that one younger male, 20s, 30s, that seems a little bit at a distance. He is very. He's being so polite and respectful. He's like, this is not really my thing, but I know them, or he knew of them somehow, and he's standing towards the back just a little bit, and he's being very polite, and this dignity and respect for him is very big, like honor, respect, dignity, is a big deal for this younger male, and he's just kind of in the background, and like I'm just here to make sure what's going on, just checking things out. And he's not being overt or aggressive or in my face in any way. He's just kind of in the backdrop. He's sort of behind the scenes a little bit, watching, but not all up in my business. What is that?
Those are little humans behind me.
There is now, yes. So you're good.
No, I was just making a note for the camera for the noise.
Oh yeah, those are little people.
No paranormal activity behind me. I know of.
Well, that's up for debate.
Ha!
This carries a little energy.
Interesting.
I don't know why, I just felt like a migraine.
Oh, really?
Weird little migraine energy. Yeah. But something feels interesting on. I don't know why I feel something. Maybe the energies have touched it or something's in or around or in it that's theirs, but I don't know. That just, for some reason, I picked up a little tingle from it, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, but the auditory phenomena is huge. There's a distinct energy coming out of this piece of furniture too, so I don't know what it is, but they're trying to show me things, so I don't want to physically look at it yet, because they're trying to show me from an empathic standpoint.
Interesting.
They're showing me things that matter to them, or something that matters to them.
You meant this right here, right?
Yeah, this piece of furniture right here that Wendy was filming there. Because I don't want to, that's why I didn't get too close to it, because they're saying it's important, but I want them to show me what's important before I look at it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And there's this particular male that is he's so stoic. He's so like that strong, silent, stoic energy about him. Very protective type of vibration. So protective. Really honorable soul too. But this one's older. He's older. I think he's that older male that I keep feeling walk the space. What is that? But the woman is drawn to it as well. She's drawn over there, and I don't know why she would be drawn to it. I don't know if something of hers is in that too, or if she just likes it, or maybe they're reminiscing about something from their life that is similar. Maybe it's not the actual item, but they're reminded, and there's a reminiscence. I feel like a reminiscence occurring with some part of this. Oh, back pain is... There's something that doesn't belong. It doesn't belong. It doesn't fit with all those other fun spirits that are helping, and they're doing a lot of helping. There's something that doesn't fit the dynamic here energetically or emotionally. There's something that does not belong here. Like an energy or entity. Mm-hmm. I can't get a gender on it, but I know that it's almost, I see like a gelatinous,
not a gelatinous
form that's sort of kind of like, it doesn't quite it can take human shape, but it can shift, which is why I can't tell the gender. So I think we'll salt the windows today. I'd like to chase it out and keep it out.
Keep things out of the house.
Yeah, that's a very weird energy. It's very fluid.
I was just gonna say.
It's almost like this fluid, undulating type of shadow.
Kind of like a dark jellyfish kind of thing.
It's weird. It's like an ink blot test.
Ooh.
I don't like ink blot tests.
No.
I always see bats. I don't know. that's worth. So I think that probably we might want to sit down with our clients and figure out, and if any of this makes sense, and what in the heck they've been actually experiencing, and then we can break out the meters and validate their feelings and my feelings and get a game plan here. So obviously we just did our walkthrough. Went through the whole space, room to room, even out in the backyard, and felt a lot of different things. I felt some physical pains in certain areas. I felt certain different kinds of phenomena. What can you say that you would validate anything that I felt in your space? Is there stuff that made sense to you?
There have been male voices and female voices.
Oh.
There was a trip that she took, and even at times when she's out running around, I clearly hear her saying my name.
Oh, wow.
And like to the point where I was using the restroom, and I heard her name, and I literally got up and walked around trying to find her.
Oh my gosh.
So there's been that.
That's a little creepy.
Just a little.
For them to impersonate a living human is not polite.
I was out in the garage, and usually when I'm out in the garage, I have my headphones in, and if I need her, I come in, and I just call her name, do whatever. But at this time that she explained to me, she heard me say, "Babe," but I was in the garage doing my own thing, and she came out to say, "Yeah, what do you mean?"
Oh Lord. And it sounded like, and each of those sounded like in your voices.
Yes.
That's not polite when they impersonate.
Don't like that.
When you were in the bedroom, the master bedroom, and you kept feeling like there was noises, there'd be noises. We have the dogs, and we had an issue with some rodents up in the attic, and those are taken care of. But those are distinct noises, and we understood what they were. The dogs, their tails wagging, hitting the walls. That's understandable. But then there's been you said the refrigerator door closing?
One time the refrigerator sounded like somebody opened it. And then the other time like something dropped.
So, and the refrigerator door opening is a pretty distinct sound.
Distinct, yeah.
Like I'm talking literal dropping noises.
But you can't
things,
debunk it.
Yeah, and things is like I come out and I look and I'm like, nothing's out of place. Nothing seems like it moved. Nothing. So there's very weird things that happen that I can't verify.
You just can't explain it in any way yet.
Right.
And that leaves you to feel a little unnerved.
Right.
Okay. Because the female that I feel in this space, I think she's doing things, but I don't think she means to be harmful with it. But if some of it might be her and some of it might not be her, and the stuff that is her, if she could just learn to simmer down a little bit and quiet down, that would be helpful. Not to startle you guys. Know the boundaries where you feel comfortable. Even if she's polite and helpful in the space, if she can't be creeping you out. But whatever that weird undulating energy, it almost looks like a mist or like a sort of sort of a blob. That doesn't quite fit the dynamic of your space at all. And I don't know what it is, but I don't want it here.
Neither do we.
Yeah, it doesn't quite belong here. But there's a lot of positive energy here too. There's all these different souls that I felt that all seem really nice and really helpful. I'm like they're trying to bring the balance of energy, here with you guys. So at least you have some angel backup. I mean, you've got some help. But it's a little intense in certain spots, and I can see why you'd be unnerved because it doesn't feel quite. It doesn't feel right. It's just there's some which of these things does not go with the others? There's like everything's all in one, but there's like this one little blob of weirdness that just doesn't. It clashes with everything that you guys are doing here. So, what about the other sensations that I was having? Did any of those things kind of make sense to you? Or?
Like the pains you were feeling in the bedroom, I personally haven't experienced anything like that. But I know for her, she's very sensitive in the sense of pains and all sorts of other things. So there's been stomach pains and back pains that she will complain of.
I'm very restless.
Oh, okay. So I might have been feeling her.
So she's she's pretty sensitive to those kinds of things. So I don't know if that's what you might have been feeling with her.
Yeah, very well could have been. Because I can feel you as living people will deposit your own energy into a space. So if it's any phenomena you're going through as a human body, I can pick up on that. So the restlessness and the pains and that kind of stuff, the sleep troubles, that sort of thing, then that would be, I was feeling all of her stuff. So, it felt uncomfortable. It felt a little bit of trouble breathing in some spots. And I also feel, I guess it's in your older child's room. I don't know if she's ever mentioned sensing anything or feeling anything, or maybe she doesn't talk about it, but I feel like she has the natural ability to sense things.
I don't remember.
She's very sensitive, but she hasn't told us anything.
Okay.
But she is a very sensitive person.
Person's
by
soul.
nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because her energy just felt very open.
I will say that.
Yeah.
She's very accepting and very she's very receptive to emotions. Like if I'm sad or if I'm mad or if she's sad, she takes those and really
Feels them deep.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
Another empath.
That's indicative of being an empath. The fact that that she takes on all of your guys' emotions that easily and that readily, and being open to that degree with a weird energy floating around the space, that can sometimes wreak a little bit of havoc. So we don't want that around somebody open like her. We want to make sure she's safe and sound and secure and protected. And if multiple people in the house are a little more open or in tune to energy in some way, shape, or form, it's good to just kind of make sure that you stick to keeping energetic boundaries. So that might require an occasional smudge once in a while. You guys can watch it when I do it, and you don't have to do the whole 9 yards, but just if you're comfortable blessing the house, even getting a little holy water or getting a little sage or maybe some Palo Santo or sweetgrass or something to that effect, and just lifting the energy periodically, just when maybe you guys have had a bad day at work, or you've just been stressed out about something, or people have been sick at home for a while and the energy's a little lower, just going through the house with a little smudge or a little holy water just peels those like onion layers off that you may have deposited over time.
Got it. Okay.
So, but it's super simple.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. You guys, it's just making the energy
Simple mumbo and jumbo.
it's mumbo jumbo light. It's
Like
very,
Rob says.
Yeah. It's pretty easy, streamlined stuff to do. But I want you guys to be in control of your space. I want you to feel like this is somewhere you can happily raise your family, because that's clearly what you want to do. You want this to be your home and where you feel good and where your kids feel good. So what other experiences are you guys having?
For me, it's walking into this place and feeling anxiety. A sense of just like there's just not. I can't come in. I'd be driving home from work and I'm perfectly fine. I'm relaxed, and then I get into the home and it feels anxious. Like that, it just doesn't. I can't really settle down.
Yeah, I felt some of that anxiety during the walkthrough too. So that I validate that for you, that you're not imagining that. You're coming into a heavier, thicker cloud of energy.
Yeah. I don't know if I can really pinpoint anything else.
But so basically, you guys are having the auditory phenomenon.
Right.
You're having the anxiety. Do you ever? Well, obviously, her physical stuff going on, but do you ever feel kind of drained of energy? Any of the people in the house?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For no apparent reason either.
Okay. Yeah, because that makes a lot of sense. Like something is siphoning.
Yeah,
your energy.
I mean, it's a little ridiculous. She'll be having a great night's sleep and then just kind of been relaxing, and then all of a sudden she's like, ugh, I'm drained. Like I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So
that's not ideal. That basically means that something is poaching your energy in some way, shape, or form. I am positive that there is a intuitive person in this house. I don't know exactly which one of you it is. I'm feeling like it's your wife, possibly, but I
would totally see that.
Yeah, I think you've got, and possibly even though your other child hasn't mentioned sensing anything, maybe it's just the age or, the comfortability level. I didn't mention it to my family that I had a sensitivity for a long time. So I was really closed off about it. But if you got a little bit of that intuitive gift going on in here, that will mean that you'll want to kind of be on top of that. And I don't know if I've already sent you any resource documents as far as like grounding or aura protection or any of that, but I will.
Okay.
I want you guys to have that, sort of to be armed and be able to take care of anything that comes your way. We're going to press the heck out of the reset button in this place. We're going to, reboot you, and sort of like a computer, we're going to reinstall the software and get it all running right and all of that. And then you guys just have to run the programs properly, essentially, just keep things moving in that forward direction. But we're going to change the dynamic in here quite a bit energetically. And it takes time to learn about some of the spiritual stuff, or if you do have any abilities and that kind of thing. It takes a little bit of learning, but it's totally doable. And we're obviously here to support the process, and we're gonna bless the living heck out of your home, because it deserves it, and you guys deserve it. And but we're gonna document some things. We're gonna see if we can capture any energy on any of our equipment, just to see, if it wants to interact with us. Sometimes the weirder, darker, kind of creepier things, they don't like interacting with us much because they don't want to give themselves away. Some of the more friendly energies that are here, they might want to, validate their presence in some way, shape, or form. But all the spirits that I feel here, whether they're ancestors, family, friends, attached to the land as previous owners, whoever they actually are, they really seem polite and pleasant, and like they're trying to help you guys. So those ones, I like to know that they're here and that they want to help you guys. So I don't know if any of them made any sense to you, but regardless if you can figure out who exactly they are or not, most of them are really pretty darn nice.
And now I'm going to do some research.
Yeah.
Find out who was here first.
Yeah, see if there's any previous owners, if that makes any sense. And also dig around in your family tree, maybe look 1, 2, 3 generations back and see if any of those particular individuals make any sense that I picked up as I was wandering through. Because it's good to, to know. And if you can give them a name and a face, that's great. If you can't, they're still your angel backup, so they still want to help you guys. And hopefully it'll make the cleansing a little easier too. We'll all kind of band together, this side and that side, and push whatever that other energy is out.
Mercy. What's going on?
Dog
Well, guess that's the end of
that
the
sort of thing. But yeah, most of it is
And I
really.
don't care for our yard. I don't tend to go out. It's also because it's just never been much of a yard right now.
Yeah.
But I've never had a desire to hang out back in our yard.
So maybe we can fix that up a little bit too. I mean,
and a lot of it, he's trying to redo the yard right now to make it more of like
That's
my
a huge
oasis,
project.
but
Well,
it's never been my
your
go-to
area.
space in the house.
Yeah, because the inside of the house feels very protected by a lot of different souls. But they are a little noisy.
Yeah.
Especially that old lady. She seems to run into everything.
And I'm okay with her.
She's a little klutzy, to be
I
perfectly
mean, I wish
honest.
people would
That
help
might
me
be some of
tidy
it.
up my house a little bit, because I feel like I go to one room and then it's all messy. I gotta go back and
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's just life, of course. But honestly, we need to get the balance back for you guys, because it seems to me that you're just having sort of an energetic sort of issue with maybe you're being drained a little bit. You are sensitive to energy, so getting you those resource documents to kind of help you manage that energy in your own self, I think will go a long way. I think that it'll make a really big difference for you, and then how everything else flows from there.
yeah. I just blamed everything on pregnancy, to be honest,
Well,
because everything kind of happened around that time. It's just being very tired and drained and restless, and now I'm restless and she sleeps through the night.
So
So
yeah,
it's
you're
not-
like, what?
It's not her fault
Yeah.
anymore. I have nobody to blame but myself. But I have always been a little more sensitive since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Very, very sensitive.
You're a little more in tune.
I didn't know if I ever told, but I used to see black shadows and all that stuff. I would wake up and they'd be hovering, and I was a kid and I was really terrified.
And here I'm saying, your wife's an intuitive.
I know,
She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you.
I was terrified. Well, I never really shared it with him, but I was scared for a short time. But then you start getting comfortable with it, like it's just normal.
Yeah.
Things. Oh, I guess I didn't.
So your wife's an intuitive. Congratulations. That explains a lot in this house.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, for the most part, I said, I don't feel bad energy, and I've always been able to, like, my home that I was raised in, it literally always made me think of, like, those scary movies when you pull up, and the thunder and lightning, and it's dark and gloomy, and you're like, it was just sunshiny a minute ago. Because the energy was so bad in the house.
Oh, awful.
And
That's
so
tough
I've always been able to, like, feel people's
what it feels
spirits.
like here is that the house feels busy. A little bit, you know, but the energies here inside the house seem pretty helpful, pretty friendly, a little loud, but I think that whatever that land-based energy is, I don't even know if I would call it necessarily an entity, but the land-based energy, that's what seems to kind of play games and be weird. Yeah. And I think that's what's kind of
mimicking you guys.
It's inadvertently messing with you in sort of a way, and that's going to be a little bit of work. We're going to try to usher as much energy out of and around the spaces as much as we can. But maintenance will be very imperative when you have an intuitive in the home. So I'll get you every resource document that I can. So you guys can just do occasional maintenance. All my resource documents, they can be tailored to your needs, available tools you can find, the different burnables, smudgeables, whatever, your beliefs, your faith, all of that kind of stuff. You can incorporate that and tailor it to be just perfect for you guys for whatever you need to continue sort of the positive energy that we're going to install and download into your space today, and then you guys just kind of keep it rolling, keep it going. And it's not hard, but it is something you have to be aware of, especially knowing there's quite an open soul in your space. He's like, you didn't tell me about this.
I guess I just assume people would think, that's ridiculous. That sounds weird.
I wouldn't think that's ridiculous.
I don't know. It's not something I've ever.
It's hard. No, trust me. It took me a long, long time to come out of the spiritual closet, as it were. Like I was not open to talking to people about it because I didn't want to be judged, made fun of, ridiculed, all that kind of stuff. And then one day I just was like, this is a divine gift. This is something that's supposed to help people. Why don't I just wear it loud and proud and just be who I am really supposed to be, and then put it forward to use it in a useful way. And I felt very liberated and free and happy, and energy didn't bombard me in the same way anymore too, because I was actually living my truth with it. But I can understand where you're coming from. Is why you're going to tell people if you don't have to. It's sometimes hard to out yourself in that way, and you don't know how somebody's going to receive that information.
Usually not well.
Yeah, a lot of the time people are very weird about it, so it is scary to open your heart up in that way and say, so I sense things, or I had incidents as a kid, or I could feel this, or I could feel that. But the fact that you're pretty open, and then you're saying your daughter's, you've got this whole thing of like, it's running down the line now. You've really got to be in charge of this and in the driver's seat with this, because we can chase a whole bunch of energy out of the space, but 2 months from now you could go to some weird location, pick up some sticky energy, and drop it back into your space. So you're going to want to know, okay, it feels heavy in here again because I went and took a trip to wherever and now I feel crappy. You need to know, okay, well now I need to bless the house again real quick.
Yeah,
and so
I don't know how to do that because I used to feel it attached to, like you feel it on you.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here to teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could just walk by people and you feel their energy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And you're like,
People
You
leak.
feel very exhausting after.
Yeah, people leak very heavily a lot of the time energetically, and also people will inadvertently siphon from you, and they don't even know what they're doing it half of the time.
energy
So
vampires.
you.
Why are you looking at?
I've been together with you for 8 years.
He's like, well,
It's not really something I talked about. It's not like something I pursue to do things with.
Hi, I'm Gilbert.
And I just swear I saw, and I know you have another human in the house, but I saw somebody walk that direction, and now they're not there. So I'm wondering where. I'm very confused. I don't don't know. They just sort of disappeared into the wall, so I don't think that was a living person. That was cool.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's great.
It's okay. It's one of I think it was one of the positive ones. I think it was the female, but thankfully she's not here to harm anybody.
Okay, so this kind of trips me out a little bit because she starts looking at stuff. Like if I'm sitting here, she'll be playing with me, and then all of a sudden she goes, huh.
I know. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, she's seeing something.
Yeah, little ones especially.
They
have
tuned
no
in.
filter. Because they don't know that they're not supposed to be able to see that. They will literally see the dead as solid as us.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no bias and they're not tainted by the world yet. So they literally will see them tangibly. Like
She focuses on stuff that I'm like, what are you looking at?
It was one of the dead people. It's fine.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Hey, she's a happy baby. She's
Wait, so
very
when she's looking at these energies, is she smiling? Is she
She's
laughing?
smiling.
Okay.
She's not.
My daughter.
She's not scared.
She never
Good.
cries.
So it's probably
She's
one
a
of just
good
the
girl.
positive, helpful, especially if it's an older lady, she might just, be like making little like happy grandma looking faces at her or something,
Oh,
like,
that's creepy.
She's
with
probably
that.
just trying to she's interacting with her in a very sweet and polite way, and the baby's like, oh, yay, and it's fine. So, obviously, if she screams or cries when something, and at something you can't see, clearly that is a totally different conversation.
She's only done that one time. She was napping. And my mom was here, and we kind of just chalked it up to my mom because she doesn't see my mom all the time.
Okay.
But this was I felt it, just a cry that I could not calm her.
Oh.
I held her, and usually when mama holds the baby, you calm down and you realize, because I thought, oh, she woke up, she didn't see me, she saw my mom, and she panicked.
Yeah.
But this felt different. I could not console her at all. I held her. I called him. I said, I can't get her to calm down. Like, even with my mom being there, showing her that everything's okay, the baby would not stop crying. And that's only happened one time.
When did that happen?
It happened like a month or two ago.
It was about a month ago.
That happened. That was the only time that made me think, because I've left her alone to nap and leave, like go do, clean the house, doing stuff, and she wakes up and she's fine. And she'll just be staring, and then she'll see me and she'll start smiling. And then everything was okay, but this was like a blood-curdling, the first time she's ever cried, like almost she was in pain. And that bothered me because I just chalked it up to my mom being a stranger to her, but I was just like, I don't know.
That sounds a little
Usually
weird.
I can console her. Usually she can say, okay, cool, mom's here, I'm going to start calming down. But she could not calm down, even to eat, even to do anything.
Yeah, that's
And you
not
put
desirable.
Then you put food out with that baby and she calms down.
But she could not.
It's just nothing would soothe her.
She would cry in between eating.
Oh,
She
man.
got really scared.
Something very distinctly startled her. So,
Yeah.
and that's the stuff that we want to remove from the space. That's the energy we want to shift and to change for you guys. Everything here overall feels like you're moving in the right direction. There's just one little dynamic that doesn't quite fit the whole structure. You've got a loving family, you've got your pets, you've got some deceased people walking around that are really nice and helpful. You've got all this positive flow, but then it's like something is just like getting in the way periodically and changing the energy, changing the vibration, making you guys feel not quite settled, not quite right. And the draining, the restlessness, all that kind of stuff. That's what we want to shift away and remove that from your guys' space. That does not need to be here or be part of your reality anymore. And then, of course, I will help inform and educate and arm you guys with the right information and tools so you can keep this going the direction you want it to and learn how to be an empath. And he's got my email address, so you can reach out and email me anytime with any questions about your gift or your abilities. And if you just want to talk to somebody about your experiences that you've never been able to just feel comfortable unloading, I'm a perfect sounding board. I am more than happy to listen to any of that stuff. But of course, you can share with him now that he knows that you're sort of out and about with your sensitivity, because clearly you are accepting of the spiritual realm and the mumbo and jumbo. Even though you are a healthy skeptic, you're also healthily open-minded.
Yes.
So I think that is a good safe space for her to be able to share her emotions and her experiences. And that's what every intuitive needs, is a rock to lean on and rely on when we're having experiences. I mean, that's what Brent is for me, is when I sense or feel something really, really weird, or I just don't understand how to articulate it, I just spew it off to him and tell him how I feel about it, and it just feels good to kind of get it off my chest. So, you've got a rock here, come on.
So how do you cleanse of the not so good, but keep the
the positive? So
yeah.
it's all about intent. The tools are all pretty much the same, although I'm probably using a couple heavier tools in that little weird area out in the yard. But it's all about intent. I'm asking the light and the positive and the love and the things that are of the light to stay, but anything of the darkness or that is harmful to leave. It's the tools plus the intent is what makes the recipe. That's how you make the cake of spirituality, is you put all the right ingredients in, and then your intent is that you put it in the oven for so long, and then you get the perfect cake. You don't throw a bunch of stuff all over the place and not put any love or heart into it. It's there's an equal balance of all of it. So
she puts a lot of love in her food.
Hey, got a lot of love going on, Well, we're going to infuse some spiritual love into the space as well, and make it exactly how you want it. Because for the most part, like I said, you're putting all the right foundation down. You guys have got it started, but there's just one little small dynamic that's out of whack. I don't think it'll be very hard to remove, because it's not even being aggressive with me. It's just being looming in the background, kind of. I think the energy imbalance also has to do with at least one, if not more, sensitives and open people in the home that aren't grounded, unfortunately, and don't have safe spiritual protocol yet. When you have that, and you have that information, that knowledge, and you put that in place, your energy is going to shift for the better. It's going to change the dynamic completely. I'm almost wondering, yes, that thing out there is kind of weird, but I'm wondering if sometimes you get anxious. When you get home, how is she feeling? Is she in a bad mood or upset or tired or anxious? Are you feeling her energy from down the block or when you pull up? Because you guys are connected and you love each other, so maybe you're...
More so than I like to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I've been incredibly more anxious lately. Very, very anxious.
So you might be accidentally just feeling her living emotion.
We are connected, I think, on a level that I've never connected with anybody else.
That's very special.
I mean,
and it's a great, but it's scary, isn't it?
It's frightening.
Yeah.
Before we even started on the path of trying to conceive her, my mom and my dad had come to visit us, and she was in the front seat with me, and I had asked my mom what my grandma's full name was, because we always just called her Mama Nene. So, and she goes, Enedina. And her and I just looked at each other without even saying anything. And she goes, yes. Like, we knew exactly. She heard what I was asking her. I heard what she was responding. It was really weird, but we actually had a full conversation.
Without even speaking.
That's cool.
That's
a
super
good connection
cool.
there.
And that's a kind of beautiful, spiritual, cosmic connection that a lot of people don't find. So you guys are extremely fortunate. Which also bodes well for, keeping the energy here going in the right direction, because you guys are a team. You will face all of these things together and keep building a beautiful life for yourselves and for your family.
So you can't leave me.
Yeah, no, you guys are stuck like glue.
I'm planning on it.
You guys are like my abuela says, we're stuck like chewing gum. She's so cute. So, you guys are just, you guys are a pair, and that is a beautiful thing. And now you guys can learn to support each other in the more spiritual realm as well. It can be part of this equation for you guys.
Smudge.
Yeah, and smudge is a family,
Vacuum dust smudge.
Yeah, right. Just throw it in the mix. But I think what we'll do is we'll break out those meters and just do a walkthrough and see if there's some weird energy spots that just don't fit. I definitely want to go check that spot out there with a couple of different meters just to see if it does anything. And then we'll just kind of tailor it to your needs. If you think you want to do structured light sensor camera, the stick figures, we can. We don't have to. We can do spirit box, but again, it's direct communication, so we don't have to do that. It's not required. And
So
of course,
you're gonna
the blessing is my favorite part anyway. But
What is my decision?
so, well, basically, whatever you're comfortable with. We do want to do a meter walkthrough, and that's pretty standard. But anything past the meter walkthrough, that's where we get into the higher level interaction with energies. And so if you're not comfortable pushing the envelope too much farther, we don't have to push the envelope too much farther. The structured light sensor camera takes Xbox Connect technology, and it can map stick figures, and you'll see them on the screen if they decide to show up, where there's nobody standing. So that is intense for some people and hard for some people to deal with. The spirit box is literally hearing voices from the other side. And I control that. I say a prayer to open and close it, but that is direct spirit communication, and that too can be mind-boggling and shattering and intense for some people. So a lot of people skip it if they can't handle that level of right in your face, you're hearing the dead talk. So
You're not quite ready.
yeah, so if you're not ready for those layers of it, we don't have to do those layers of it, but we at least want to do the meters just to see if there's any errant EMF that could be feeding how you feel that's icky or yucky and that type of stuff. But everything else after that is kind of sauce for the goose. So we'll start with the walkthrough and you can think about it, and then whatever other layers you want to add, we can. But again, at the conclusion of this, I'll be blessing each of you. I'd kind of like to bless each animal if I could. If you could like bring one in at a time, I can like put a little
That
water
could be
on
interesting.
one. Because I do sort of want to bless them to protect them, and then I'll also bless the whole entire home. So
Okay.
does that work for you guys?
Yes, that works.
All right,
Very good.
perfect.